Hey. Welcome back.
Hey, back. Good to be back in the saddle.
It is good to be back.
This is Tuesday night saddle. Well, it's Monday night.
Two dudes, two's dues. Here we are again. Monday night because there was a
UConn Purdue meeting.
NCAA championship game. Basketball.
Don't spoil it, because maybe some people.
Recorded.
Yes.
When they get this episode, it'll be like July. If you haven't seen it now, it's your fault.
You're probably not going to.
This is episode number 4.
Yes.
And we're stoked to be back.
And if you caught 1 through 3, then you are a bored person.
If you're back for more of 4, woo.
You need professional help. Not non-professional advice from non-professionals.
That's right. What are we going to talk about today?
Movies.
The movies.
Yeah, but we're gonna relate the movies a little bit more to current life, current stage of life, what they do for us. You know, not just talk about like our favorite movies, which we can do still for sure, but like more how they influence us or how we use movies to escape, things like that.
Yeah. Different times call for different movies. Maybe a little TV. Maybe we'll talk TV in there too. We'll see.
Absolutely.
So Benjamin, that's Spanish for Benjamin.
Yeah.
What? Tell me about your general like. What's your go-to genre first of all?
I would probably say mostly comedy, I think, and actually even in TV, I'd say I'm more of a comedy TV watcher, and then probably more of an action suspense movie watcher. I do like comedy movies, but I think the genre that I lean most towards are action the movies the movie genre I lean most towards are comedy and action. What about you?
I probably more often will sit down and watch a movie.
Renaissance
when I have a little time.
Love theme.
That's right. That's exactly right. Rom-coms are my favorite genre. No. I probably default to anything action. I just like a good, not over-the-top action movie. Maybe one with a little bit of, like, wit to it.
Yeah.
I think a good one that comes to mind is, like, Sherlock.
Oh, yeah. I like Sherlock. The series or the movie? Both?
Both.
Yeah, both were good.
The Benedict Cumberbatch series was outstanding.
So good.
And then Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law, like, those were good movies. Something along those lines, and there's a lot of examples that way. But
yeah, so it also just depends on the mood and the feelings I'm in at the time, right? Like, for example, if I'm about to go to bed, I like to watch something as I'm kind of falling asleep. And if I watch something, then it's almost always comedy, and it's almost always a TV show. Something that I'm not super invested in or I've seen before, and I just kind of want it running so I can just kind of wind down, go to sleep.
yeah.
Right. I used to sleep all night. When I was a kid, I used to watch TV and movies, and I'd leave the TV on. And I'd wake up in the morning and still be on. Which was crazy. I mean, not super young, but...
And you wouldn't wake up at all during the night while it's still going. And it must have been, like, looping.
Well, if it was a movie, it'd go to the like menu screen. Yeah, and it just play the same song over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it was just like... I don't know, KU TV or whatever, and Jerry Springer would be on at 4 a.m. And then the news.
You'd wake up and be like, ooh, I bet this is good.
Yeah.
Better finish this before I go to bed at 6.
Yes.
That's funny. Back in my single days, one of my favorite things to do was on a if I didn't have plans on a weekend and I could stay up late, I would like go and get some just garbage food. It'd probably be like a carne asada burrito from Beto's, and just stuff myself and then turn on a movie and then fall asleep watching the movie.
Yeah.
And the part that would always wake me up is the movie ends and then it kind of like fades to black, you know? And then all of a sudden the song for the credits kicks in kind of loud, and that would wake me up. Or if it goes back to the title screen and then that song plays, whatever it was, and that would wake me up. Didn't matter where I was, I'd sleep through the whole movie, but then the credits or the title screen would wake me up.
I remember one time I was watching Orange County, Tom Hanks' son, and he and Jack Black.
We are the same height.
Sean, you are my same height. That is neat. And he was like, I'm going to burn this mother down. And I was like, you better not. Anyway, good movie. But I remember I watched it, it went to the title screen, and I was so tired that I wouldn't get up and go turn it off. So I just kept waking up over and over to that same dumb song on the title screen. It was pretty funny, but
funny you mentioned that. I'm a big Jack Black fan, and I think, you know, his movies always do it for me.
Oh yeah.
I'll just go there right now. Like Nacho Libre is the one movie I could watch over and over and over and not get sick of it.
Only one? Do you think you could?
No, I've got a few.
Okay.
That's probably at the top of my list though, as far as
so good, dude.
I just never get sick of it and I love it.
Oh man.
And it's so quotable, you know.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you that the really large Hispanic lady that's in love with Escaleto?
Yeah.
She's also in a TV series called The Mick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's with Caitlin Olsen from Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh.
Dude, she's hilarious.
Is she?
Yeah, she's the nanny. Oh my gosh, she's funny.
She makes a short appearance. I think it's in This Is Us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because me and my wife realized it was her when we were watching it one time, and we were like both surprised. But yeah, I didn't think she had any other gigs, and that she actually had a role, you know, that wasn't just extra.
Well, let's talk about the more like the therapeutic side of movies and TV shows, and why we watch it and what it does for you. You've told me that, you know, you watch movies at night, or TV shows both with your wife, or, you know, sometimes you'll watch them by yourself. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like there's a reason other than just you're bored, or do you feel like it helps you, or, you know, what's the draw towards TV and movies for you?
Yeah, there's definitely the like escapist factor in it, in like just a good story or something that would kind of surprise you or take you off guard. And there's been a few of those kinds of movies for me over the years, but I definitely, like, now at this stage of my life, it's after kids are in bed. If Emily decides to go to bed early, then, you know, I won't stay up. Maybe I'll stay up and watch one by myself, or typically we'll watch something together. And yeah, it's just like, it's like, I think we all crave just a good story. And, you know, the genres they'll kind of be all over the place when we watch a movie. It might be something, could be like I don't think we watch a lot of rom-com. It could be like a drama. Uh-huh. Or it could be like an action movie, and we both tend to like those kinds of movies. So yeah, there's a draw there for me to like get to the end of a day or end of a week and just want to kick back, and, you know, I've got some time before I go to bed. Just want to enjoy a good, well-told story, or something that has some element of surprise to it, you know. Mm-hmm. Kind of an Inception, kind of makes you just go, whoa.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Holy mackerel. Whoa. I think mine started all the way back when I was in high school, because I would watch TV every single night to fall asleep to, which probably means an early death for some reason, but you know what they say, right? But I would watch movies over and over and over, same movie or TV series, but usually movies, because back then it was hard to get your hands on TV series, right? Mm-hmm. But I would watch movies that just put me in a good place, just made me feel good. and I would just watch them. A lot of religious movies, like corny. A lot of the corny religious movies, like I remember God's Army. I watched that over and over.
Okay.
Best 2 years was on there.
Nice.
But then also there were stints of Black Sheep.
Okay, yeah. Chris Farley.
Yeah, Chris Farley, Black Sheep, and Orange County, like I said. Those were just on repeat. They were just there, and I just watched them over and over and over. And it was like, and this continued on into college too, and after, where I got into Friends and The Office, Arrested Development, Sunny in Philadelphia, and Parks and Rec. And I watched those songs. I mean, I've watched Friends season... Dude, all those seasons, there's 10 seasons I've watched. Can't even tell you how many times. A lot. And same with The Office. And I can just do it over and over and over, and I don't care. And you do it so much, it's almost like they become your friends, you know? And you see them, you're like, hey, Joey! Ross, dude, how's it with Rachel? It's weird, and you kind of can forget the space you're in, like the troubles you're having or the worries, and you're just like part of that. It's a mind release, right? I think movies do the same thing, especially in the theater when you're completely immersed in it and you're watching a good movie. Everything else gets put on hold, and I think sometimes maybe that used to help me calm down and fall asleep, and that's why I liked it, because I'm watching a movie, I don't got to think about anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned Parks and Rec. That one was a great one. In fact, that was one of the first... I know I've seen a series here and there all the way through, but that was one of the first that I watched beginning to end, because it had already ended. Somebody randomly recommended it. It was like, oh, you just kind of got it. I think it was you. It was you. And you were like, you got to get through the first few episodes, which was kind of true.
You got to get to Chris Traeger and Ben Wyatt.
Yeah.
When they come in.
Yep. Or even when Chris Pratt starts to play a bigger role.
Yeah, that's true.
Because in the beginning, that he's not there much, but yeah, I loved that series. And since we're on the topic of movies, one of my favorite quotes from that was what is Aziz Ansari's character?
Oh man,
forget his name, but Leslie Knope is kind of, I guess you could say, the main. Yeah, she's definitely the main.
Tom
character.
Haverford.
Tom Haverford, nice. Yeah. And he goes, Leslie's favorite movie is books.
No, he's talking about the dating profiles he created.
Yeah.
And they each have a letter, and he goes, Tom N. Haverford. And he's like, his favorite movies is books.
Okay.
It's so good, because that's the one she paired with. Oh,
that's right.
Hilarious.
That's right, yeah.
There's so many good one-liners from that show.
They are great. So, answer me this: do you ever like there's a new series out, and it only releases like week to week? Do you ever watch any of those, or are you more like a binge? Something's, a series is completed, you'll watch that beginning to end.
I'm very bingy. I don't really like to watch shows when I have to wait each week. I usually want a whole season. I'll go season by season, but not usually one by one. Actually, I do that with Family Guy. I'll go one by one, or I'll let a couple pile up, but that's because it doesn't matter. There's no continuing story. But I do think that there are... I forgot what I was going to say. There are certain series that once I find that I like them, like I'll try them out, and I'll just watch 2 or 3 episodes, and then I just will plow through it. Like I'll binge quick, just because I stay up later than everybody else, and I can watch TV, have a TV on, and doing stuff. So that's really never affected me, but except for there's some series that are just out of this world, unbelievable, and deserve our undying attention, like Breaking Bad. The best series ever made,
man,
bar none. And anybody who says different doesn't know their head from a rock. And if somebody comes to me and tells me that The Wire is better, I'm going to run them over with a car.
Really? People say The Wire?
Yeah, The Wire.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a cop show I think in New York.
Oh.
And drug dealing type of thing. Mm-hmm. Cops are involved. But no. And it is older, so that kind of plays into it. But
okay.
Maybe the first couple seasons of Lost. Those were really good.
Those were good.
But then it turned out to be doo-doo.
Man, they ruined that one.
What other... you liked 24.
24, I never watched the whole series, but man, those first... Yeah, especially like you get through seasons 1, 2, 3, but then you start to realize it's just the same... It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But they did carry characters from one season to the next. But it was always... Like, I mean, that was the premise of the show, right? Every episode was 1 hour, and there were 24 episodes every season. And so it was just like these impossible odds, some evil faction out to destroy the world against impossible odds. One man somehow defeats everyone and wins the day. And I guess I just kind of got a little sick of it after 3 or 4 seasons. And it actually, it's funny, what's his name? Kiefer Sutherland, he ended up starring in another series that I started watching, me and my wife, that we enjoyed. What was it called?
Oh, yeah. It was like there was with the president.
Yeah, I'm forgetting what it's called right now.
Yeah, my sister liked that show.
But, yeah, he was like, it's kind of like the thing where all the top authorities, including president, vice president, speaker of the house, like are all in the same place. Spoiler alert. Forward, if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
We'll pause for 5 seconds. Okay, so they're all in the same room in some governmental... they're at the Capitol building, and it gets bombed, right? Explodes. And so then he has to come in. He's somehow down the line the guy who would become president. So.
I feel like the word point is in it. Or something like that.
It's like the replacement. Anyway, good, very compelling in the beginning, but then you start going through these things, and as long as they're developing new characters, you can only do so much of that and keep it interesting. And I think we got kind of a little bored of it after a while.
Designated Survivor.
Thank you.
There we go. Yeah, I didn't watch that. Did you? Was there one that was one you liked as much as Breaking Bad, or?
No. I mean, that one tops the charts for me.
Oh my gosh,
there's a couple of so that one, like from episode to episode, I was like, oh my gosh, it's 2 a.m. and I can't stop watching this thing. It's incredible.
Were you a big Prison Break guy?
No, never watched that one. Never saw that one.
Okay, so we've established, without any argument from anybody ever, that
Hands
Breaking
down.
Bad's the best. Now
by the mouth of at least 2 guys.
Yes. What?
It is confirmed.
It is confirmed. What about comedy series? You can any of them.
Yeah.
You can choose the best comedy series. What you going with?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
And I would have to say the one that I gotta go with The Office. Like,
oh, really?
That one for me, yeah. So I'll tell you the ones that I've seen all the way through.
Yeah.
And
this can include cartoons.
It can include cartoons, yeah.
Okay.
No, for sure. Yeah, it wouldn't be a cartoon. In the early days of The Simpsons, I loved, how much I loved The Simpsons.
You know this.
See, you know how much. Season 7, 8 in particular are still best, best animated series episodes I've ever seen. Yeah, but they've gone downhill since. So I've seen Parks and Rec all the way through. Absolutely loved that show.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Seinfeld all the way through. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And The Office. Those might be the only ones. Another one that I've enjoyed is The Good Place.
Yeah, you said that.
Just started watching that one again, actually. I'm on like episode 2.
Did you watch New Girl?
I haven't yet, but I'm gonna give that one a try eventually.
New Girl's my wife's favorite show. It's funny. There's a couple episodes there.
The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt is one you
That was
recommended.
funny.
That
Yeah,
was funny.
I like that show.
Yeah, what are some for you? But to answer you, I think I'd have to go with The Office.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, The Office is for sure would be in my top 3. I'm not sure if it would edge out Friends. I really like Friends, but there's kind of some nostalgia there for me too with Friends.
Yeah.
Just because I grew up watching it week to week with my sisters, I didn't have a choice. But also, I'm a massive Sunny in Philadelphia fan.
Oh, right,
I
yeah.
love that show. I think it's Danny DeVito is just hilarious. But those 3 shows are funny. So I would say those are probably my top 3. I'm not exactly sure what the order is, but those 3. And then another show I'm just throwing out there that I fell in love with was Border Town.
Oh, yeah.
Animated series. They only did 1 season. I don't know why they only did 1 season because, oh my gosh, it is funny. But I think it's on Hulu now. I was watching it the other day. But oh my gosh, it's funny, dude. So many funny jokes.
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes of that one.
It's so disappointing when a season doesn't continue and you want it to.
Uh-huh.
The Mick is that way. The Mick, I think, had 2 seasons and they ended on this massive cliffhanger, but then it didn't get picked up for a 3rd.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was bummed.
Huh. Well, darn it. What was I just thinking? I was gonna say, as far as like, what is it about Friends that made that top of your list?
Dude, I really think it was what I was saying earlier. Just like, I felt like I'm their friend, and when I'd watch that show, oh, that sounds really lame.
You get so invested with the characters.
Yeah, I feel saying it out loud though. I feel that sounds really stupid, but I'd watch it so much that I was like, "What's up, guys?" Like in my mind, like, oh, I wonder how Joey's doing today. But when you watch a show like that, dude, it can start to play with your thoughts and even your dreams and stuff. I remember when my wife and we were pounding through Lost, and we watched 4 or 5 episodes like every night. And the show had already ended, so we had a lot to watch. And it started just messing with my brain. I telling the difference between reality and TV show. It was just, I don't know. It's funny, but just to answer your question, yeah, the Friends was a place where my mind could just turn off and I could just be with the show. And I'm not sure if that's healthy or not. I kind of think it would be, but I don't know. Like, you're watching TV and it's not reality, and maybe that's part of some sort of
like coping
with stuff, yeah, or childhood thing, or I don't know. Like, they say it's bad to watch too much TV, and obviously you don't want to neglect others with TV, but I don't know. TV just sometimes it just hits the spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I totally agree. I think, like I said, there's different feelings for different, I should say different moods. Because sometimes I'll sit down and I'm like, I was thinking about maybe something I was going to watch, and then I'm like, nah, just not feeling that one today, even though it's one of my go-tos or a favorite one.
For sure.
But then you don't end up watching it. It's just so dependent on mood,
Have you ever... Okay, I'll tell you mine, and then you think of it one if you have one. Have you ever seen something like a show where you're just in the right mood and it just hits you in the feels and you connect with it so much, but any other day at any other time you would have just been like, yeah, okay. I did that with an episode of The Biggest Loser.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Biggest Loser. This older gentleman gets up on the scale, had lost a bunch of weight, and he's just so happy, just so grateful. And I remember I was sitting there, and I think I had tears in the back of my eyes, and I was just like, "Go get him, buddy, you deadass!" And it was just so strange, but Hit me in the feels that day.
Yeah, I hear you. You know, definitely did. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I can remember a recent. In fact, it really took me off guard. I was so surprised by it, and then after the fact, I was like, I can't believe that got me. But it was one of those YouTube shorts.
Okay.
Like one of those short clips, and it's this boyfriend and girlfriend sitting in a car, but they're like maybe close to 30, maybe in their 30s, right? And the guy's looking at his phone, and he's like, I've got this, like some massive payment was made on my mortgage. Like my mortgage is half paid off now, and he can't figure it out.
I watched that today.
Did you see that one?
Yeah, his wife, the girlfriend.
The girlfriend secretly paid off half of his mortgage.
She's like, "You deserve it,"
which is absolutely nuts.
Oh my gosh!
Why would you ever do that? Because it's funny. Because after the fact, I'm like, you're stupid for doing that. Get in a committed relationship. Like be married before you're going and doing something like that. But at the same time, she was the one that did it. And he's just like trying to figure this thing. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And then she like humbly says, "Sweetheart, it was me."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why would you do that?" She's like, "You do so much for me." And it's funny because it hit me, and same thing. I was like kind of getting I was like teary eyed a little bit.
Yeah.
It was kind of it was funny when I look back on it. I was like, yeah, I had to have been in a certain mindset.
I literally saw that today for the first time ever. I was thinking what you were saying. You're just like, why would you pay off his mortgage?
Yeah.
When you're not even together, like you're not married. Like he could bounce tomorrow, and you're not getting that money back.
Right.
It's strange, but it seemed real though too.
Leap of faith. Yeah, it did.
Whereas most of that stuff is not.
I've told you, I feel like I have a good eye for the bull crap.
Yeah.
On social media, and that one felt real, authentic.
Yeah, there are, if I think of other things where I could pretty much guarantee most people had tears coming behind the eyes, the feel goods. Dude, that opening scene in Up with the with him and his wife growing up together and the music. Do 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 do.
Good call.
Do 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 do. Man, I could. Oh gosh,
that's a great call.
Oh,
we watched that with our kids a few weeks ago, and absolutely that one got me. Every time I see that opening sequence,
I wish I could have background music to my life, and that song was just playing.
Yeah. It's funny because as we've been talking about these different movies and shows, there's different things. So like one show that I can watch that will always have me, it will always hit my feels.
Buttercream Gang.
The Buttercream Gang.
Oh, is it cream?
Especially
Buttercream.
Especially when the Pee Wee Herman doppelganger comes back from Chicago, and he's.
Oh, I don't even.
He's changed, man. You've changed.
Yeah. Okay, what is it?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh gosh.
And I will forever put that near the top of my list, if not at the top for like favorite movie overall.
Yeah, I always talk to my dad. My dad's name is George, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I always talk. Well, George. Well, tie a big lasso around it and. You want the moon, Mary?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But it feels like, and I'll watch that sometimes. I'll think, man, I just need something that makes me feel good right now. It's kind of a rough week or day or whatever. Seems like a lot of the reason why we turn to those movies and films, whether it's for a laugh, whether it's to feel something, it kind of feels like it's to escape, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I don't know.
Like, are we there too often, and we're always trying to escape reality? Because that doesn't seem like a great thing.
It doesn't, does it? Yeah. I know. Forget this life. I'm headed off into the movie.
Right.
Where's my Brady Bunch children?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. That's what I was saying. I wonder. It'd be interesting to get somebody who knows about that and the the psychological side of TV and movies, and is it bad, or I don't know, because I do it a ton.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of experts out there would say that, excessive consumption of anything can be bad, but especially like screens and TV and movies and...
I just thought of something else.
Yeah?
There was an episode of Ninja Warrior, and there's a dude who was 60 years old, and he actually was from like Bountiful or something.
Okay.
Like he was from Utah, and I remember I was watching it, and he made it through the first round, like up the warped wall. And when he did, I was just like, phew. I was like, yeah, you go, old man. Just because everybody's discounting him. And I mean, he was in better shape then than I've ever been in my whole life, but it was still funny.
That's awesome.
Dude, my wife walked in right then and saw me just like, what are you doing? Nothing.
Nothing. Something in my eye.
Like on Hot Rod when he walks into his room. Get out!
I miss you, Dad. Get out! Yeah. So, like, if the reason for watching it is to kind of escape, is there something to that? But I think we all like movies can go for hundreds of millions to billions of dollars, right? Because the entertainment factor.
Yeah.
Some people just love to be engrossed in a story, a good story.
Titanic.
Still have never seen it.
Never?
Still have never seen it. No, I haven't. I probably never will. I don't care to. Like, I know the story.
Oh, it's so good.
But see, yeah, back in the day, it was kind of like you with Moneyball, maybe. Right? You heard enough of how good it was, and so you were like,
yeah. That's another thing we do, right?
Yeah. So I remember specifically it was in 8th grade. I was in 8th grade when that movie came out. So now everybody who's listening to this knows how old I am, because they can go look it up. But anyway, it came out and like everybody was talking about it. It was such a big hit. I mean, if you're an 8th grader and people are talking about the movie Titanic, right?
Well, a lot of your 8th grade friends were talking about it because of the boobies.
I forgot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there is a nudie scene in there.
In a PG-13 movie, right?
That's right.
So a lot of kids waited till it came out on DVD and then could just skip that part.
That's what they would do.
The nudity.
They wouldn't pause, rewind.
Yeah. They'd skip the whole movie except that part.
Yeah, so anyway, I never did. Just like I told you how good Moneyball was. That's a great movie. Love that movie. That one makes me feel things too.
It's a good movie.
But I wanted to go back real quick to the escapist point. And like, it's funny because like I can just sit and watch my kids do something, anything, and it like melts my heart, and I just think it's the cutest thing ever. Or I'll feel something like the other day I opened the fridge and my wife so we both like Diet Mountain Dew. I drink way too much of it. My wife drinks it. Not possible. I recently discovered that I like to squeeze limes into my Diet Mountain Dew. And it's delicious.
Oh,
fancy. When I do it, I lift my pinky finger as I take a small sip.
This lime is not fresh.
Swirl the dew around in a cup and give it a smell, and then I say, yeah, this one will do.
Oh.
And, no, but she cut up some limes and put them in a little Tupperware so that I can just take out a quarter lime and squeeze it in my dew. Anyway, she just did that for me. She just did that, and it made me, like, super appreciate, it's little things like that. Those go, I think one of the things that really draws me or hits me is acts of service. The love language, they say.
What does that have to do with movies?
Is just the fact that like those things are a far better escape.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I needed to drive that point home, I guess. Those things obviously are a far better escape. And like when I came over tonight, you were out in the backyard jumping on the trampoline with your kids, and your wife was there too. that was fun to just see.
Yeah.
Like walking outside and seeing that was fun.
Well, I was more sitting.
You were
Three jumps and something hurts, so I don't really do. And we need that tramp to last a while. But no, I get you. So you're saying that if we're using movies, TVs for an escape, maybe there's other things that are better that we could use for an escape.
Sure. Yeah.
Things that can create better lasting memories, things like that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, we haven't yet, but it's going to be super fun once we build an audience, we get feedback and thoughts, and we can comment on stuff. We're going to have to figure out, like, how we comment on stuff the next week.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we take the beginning 5 minutes and address stuff that's come in or something. Because I really do like the idea of responding to things. But
exactly,
this was a fun one. This was a little more fun than the previous ones we've done. The other ones are a little more serious. So I think I feel better about this kind of discussion flow and feeling than maybe some of the more serious stuff. Do you?
I think it's easier to talk about. Yeah. I mean, especially like we're still trying to figure out our level of vulnerability. Yeah. In this podcast and like how much we share. We're trying to be pretty open, transparent. Yeah. So, it's been fun.
Well, we've got some other ideas for future episodes, so we'll jump into those and see how it goes. Yeah. But any other feedback anybody has, if we provide that option, we'd love to hear thoughts on how it's going.
So if you're hearing this on through Spotify, awesome. Make sure you get over to the YouTube link in the description and like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff that helps to grow things, and we can read your comments and get back and pull it into our conversation. So. Yep.
All right, do you know what we should do is think of like a send-off. You know how when we say hi, we're like, hey. Maybe we have a send-off, like something from, I don't know, other show. Where is A? A's from The Office. Mm-hmm. Michael walks in. Yeah, we said that last time.
Hey. Well, I think, it was the Fonz too.
Oh, yeah, the Fonz. Yeah, that's right. So we could do the Truman Show.
Truman Show.
Well, in case we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I like that.
That's nice.
Let's do that. You go ahead and do it this time. Give it a try.
Well, thanks for joining us this week. It was a fun episode. We enjoyed the conversation. We're looking forward to your feedback, too, and joining us. So until the next one, and in case we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.